wanted to get started asking you, Jackie, about writing the script for the short and what that process was like of really getting the story together and what was the inspiration in creating the script for the film.
Well, first of all, I'm a person who always been passionate about writing stories based on true events and real life events, especially those weird histories like Mindhunter, Zodiac, and Chernobyl. And those movies and shows really gave me a lot of inspiration. And there was one time my roommate, my one of my close friends who also majored in screenwriting at the film school, showed me this video on YouTube about a time traveler. I started by digging into number of strange events, really digging into those murky depth of mysteries. And at the end, I just feel like, this is a story that could truly fascinate me, and I could potentially make some twist and turn and enrich the story. The original concept is very straightforward, but I added a lot of other elements that potentially relate to social issues, and hoping that we could elevate the story to the next level based on that event, and that forms the prototype of the movie.
And Autumn, I also wanted to ask you about becoming involved in starring in the film and what you really liked about the script and your character as well.
Yeah, well, pretty much it was a time traveling period piece, and I was sold as soon as I saw it. It was very different from the other kinds of projects that I'd been seeing at the time. So I was definitely intrigued. I actually originally read for a different character and ended up being cast as Isabel. So I was very excited about that.
I almost forgot that. Yeah, you did. You actually, you were reading for other character, but then I realized that you might be a great fit, for the main role.
Mm-hmm. Jackie, I also wanted to ask you about going on to direct the film and what that experience was like, going from working on the script into directing, and just maybe your overall directing style on set.
The experience is remarkable. It's really once in a lifetime experience, I have to tell you. I get to conduct a lot of research, go through a lot of readings, using a lot of movie reference, and most importantly, getting feedback from my team and my mentors. During the entire project, I always ask myself, is this good enough? Can we push beyond the limitations? Is the dialogue fit to the scene, or can the camera movement be adjusted to better match the character emotion? Though, and there are many alternatives to improve the blocking, but it is our team, the entire team, giving me support and help me finish this project. And I always remind myself of a mantra from Disney's culture. It's called a relentless pursuit of perfection. And this experience of directing a project, from writing, directing, producing, and supervise the whole process all the way to the post-production, really helped me understand this mantra, how to relentlessly pursue a perfection in a project.
Autumn, I also wanted to ask you about maybe if you did any research or just what your overall preparation was like once you signed on to star in the film as well.
So much research. Like I said, I love period pieces, and I really wanted to dive into what Isabel's world would have been like back then. I did a lot of reading about what Los Angeles was like at that time. I listened to a lot of music from the time, pretty much nonstop. I also found some archival footage of people speaking candidly. It's difficult to find people speaking candidly from them, because on camera they spoke slightly differently and more poised than they do in real life. And I wanted to play with that with Isabel, because there is an element of her being watched and being on camera and needing to appear a certain way. And I wanted her to be a slightly different version of herself then than when she is alone with the people she loves.
Jackie, I also wanted to ask about casting the other cast members for the film and what that experience was like as well, and really bringing on the supporting cast.
Are you asking about the supporting cast or like the audition in general?
Just like the supporting actors for the short, and just really maybe auditioning or bringing on everyone that surrounds Isabella as well.
Yeah, our casting director Katie and I really put forth a lot of effort in holding these auditions for every actors. First of all, it is very tough, in the first few rounds to really to find out actors, actresses who really have talent in it, and also understand our role, understand our project. We had a hard time finding the doctor, to be honest. It wasn't until the very last audition day that we could finally find the doctor role and other supporting characters, the supporting actors for those roles. But I think, during the final round, what Katie, the casting director, and I value the most is really about the team chemistry. And oftentimes, talent have great understanding of the script, and their performance is always superb. But around the final round, what we truly want is team chemistry, and we always ask ourselves, will we be getting along as a team working on set? Can we help each other grow during the shooting of the day, and can we really bring out the best result from this project? But without that friendship, without that camaraderie, it is hard to collaborate with each other, even though the actor or actress have a great talent or skills in performance.
Also, speaking about finding the chemistry between the actors and really getting to work together once everyone signed on, for both of you, what was that experience like to really maybe work together and really maybe rehearse with the other actors overall as well?
Yeah, we did rehearse before shooting. I loved working with Jacky. I love that he always knew kind of exactly what he wanted, but with room to discuss anything and to make any changes based on like what ideas I was bringing to the table. And that was the whole process the whole way through. It was totally a team effort, and everyone had a voice, and there was this great sense on set that everybody thought this was a really special project, and we all wanted it to succeed and wanted it to be the best thing that it could be. And the only way to do that was for everyone to pitch in.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I always welcome feedback and advice, because I feel like I'm also a new filmmaker. I'm an emerging filmmaker who wants to learn more by collaborating with each other. So when it comes to filmmaking, I think that everyone should really weigh in the discussion and see if there's other new ideas or a new understanding for this project. And there's no doubt that we went through a lot of rough patches, in part because I aim to create some interesting shots that require tremendous effort and time to put it off. But it's really about team effort. It's really our teammate like all together working with each other that eventually make this project happen. And I remember probably one of the toughest shots is the opening scene, which is a long shot, one long single shot for the entire scene. And we spent roughly a month to find a solution to some technical issue and obstacles. And unlike animation where you could like move the camera whatever you want without a cut, shot design in movies typically requires a lot of planning and consideration for shooting environment and location, and without the help from other crew member, like my production design, my cinematographer, I really couldn't eventually come up with this idea. We couldn't figure this out to solve this solve this problems. So I really value the camaraderie and relationship, and the people that I get to know from this project. It's a great experience, knowing and working with others.
Also, speaking about the production design in particular, I also wanted to ask about that experience of figuring out where you wanted to shoot the film and really creating the look for the locations overall as well.
Yeah. As I said, I've done a lot of research prior to visiting all the locations and conducting location scale. So I really tried to get a better idea of what the period piece should look like, what that era particularly should what that era should look like. But I'm really glad that the production designer provide a lot of insight to our team, to our producer, and to me and cinematographer, and share a lot of experience, share a lot of idea of what kind of location we should be looking for. So having those ideas, and after doing a lot of research, we then there's a production handbook at our film school. So we spent nearly 2 months to I think we went through roughly like 50 different locations and eventually lock the 10 out of it. So it was very time consuming, but at the same time, I enjoy doing location scout because going out for a scout is actually a brainstorming lesson with your crew members, because we would discuss, how can this location fit to the script, and aside from that, we would also consider other logistical issues, and can we support enough of crew members on the day of the shooting, and how does this better portray the character? Can the background color, or can let's say the asylum hospital, would that be a good fit to the story, to the screenplay, and potentially with the color match to the costume design? There are a lot of aspects that we have to take into account, but finding locations that have to match with that period essentially is a very taxing task, but I really enjoy the whole creative process. Finding locations is a creative process. You have to think about all the color blocking, with the blocking actor, the camera shot in mind while conducting those location scouts.
So I wanted to ask about having the short play during the Beverly Hills Film Festival, and what that experience was like for you both, and getting to share the movie in that sense as well.
Sorry, what's your question again?
Yeah, what the experience was like of getting to bring the film to the Beverly Hills Film Festival, and just going on the festival circuit with the movie overall as well.
Yeah, totally. So it's actually my second time that got selected by Beverly Hills Film Festival. My previous project, I was also very lucky, selected by BHFF back in 2018. So it was an honor to see this film, being selected at this film festival again. And it's kind of sad that we have to watch online, because in-person screening really sometimes I think has more fun experience, and we get to connect with other filmmakers and talk about the film, and discuss some of the ins and outs about the industry after the screening. So we kind of we missed that part this year due to the COVID situation. But but having having screening online still is another format, but it does bring some of the fun. I got I think there are 2 or 3 filmmakers who film in the same section with mine contact with me, and they really they watch my film and they think that it's something they really enjoyed about. So I'm glad that we had that conversation, even in an online setting in a very special year.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Karen.
Thanks.
Thanks for
Thank
talking
you.
with us.
You're welcome. Thanks again. Bye.